This is GARIS, Masculist, MGTOW flyers. That is 2 3-page essays on the themes of masculism and MGTOW, written by and read aloud by Prof. Dr. Hugo de Garis. This is flyer number 5, entitled Twaytweffing, the 2A, 2F lifestyle for the modern man. Description: a flyer presenting to MGTOWs and masculists a lifestyle that allows men to get regular sex and that forces women to be nice to them, without any toxicity that comes from a traditional man-slaving marriage. Flyer itself. Twaytweffing, the 2A, 2F lifestyle for the modern man. Twaytweffing, that is 2A, 2F-ing, 2 apartments, 2 fips, is a lifestyle that allows men to get regular sex while avoiding the toxicity of traditional marriage due to fluffy feminists having taken over the divorce courts. It also forces women to be nice to men. Masculists are men's libbers, doing for men what feminism does for women, that is, fighting against sexual discrimination against men and making men's lives more agreeable. MGTOWs are men going their own way, that is, refusing to marry and refusing to have kids. They simply walk away from the marriage market and spend their money on themselves doing what they love. A FIP is a financially independent person, the type of woman that masculists demand that all women become, or they will just not get a man. A fluffy is a masculist label for a traditional woman who expects to be able to parasite off the money of a man. A fluffy feminist has had her feminist consciousness raised, but not her masculist consciousness. As a result, by default, she still has fluffy attitudes towards men, seeing them as exploitable checkbooks, as man-slaves, to be man-enslaved into a marriage where he pays for her to be a fluffy mother. Fluffy feminists have taken over the divorce courts because the gender politicians let them. Because of this fluffy feminist divorce court takeover, tens of millions of men in the US have been financially massacred. They lose their kids, their house, and pay child support and alimony to their fluffy ex-wives. This has now caused 70% of young men under 35 in the US to refuse to marry and have kids. So how do these men who avoid marriage and fatherhood get regular sex? By living the Twaytweff, 2A, 2F lifestyle. That is, a FIP masculist / MGTOW has a relationship with a woman who is also a FIP. Both have their own apartments, hence 2A, 2F, 2 apartments, 2 FIPs. The advantage for a man in Twaytweffing is that when the relationship goes sour, he simply walks away, costing him nothing. No divorce, because no marriage, no kids, no alimony, because the woman's a FIP. Twaytweffing forces the woman to be nice to the man, otherwise he can simply walk away, and vice versa of course. If a woman begins to show fluffy attitudes towards the man, or starts to nag, etc., the man can walk away easily. Since both are FIPs and both have their own apartment, this walking away is easy. The only thing holding the relationship together is its quality. If the quality drops, the 2 FIPs just walk away, cost-free. This lifestyle has many advantages for the modern man, who is very conscious of the toxicity of modern marriage and hence avoids it. It may take years, even a decade or two, for the gender politicians to make the gender laws men fair. In the meantime, modern men can twaytweff and avoid being financially massacred by a divorcing fluffy wife in a fluffy feminist-dominated divorce court system, as well as getting regular sex. It's expected that twaytweffing will become the new norm for men until the gender politicians reform the gender laws, which they must do, otherwise the population gets wiped out within a century due to the birth rate crash caused by the marriage strike of the MGTOW / masculists. Twaytweffing has a revolutionary effect on a man's life. He can live modestly in a cheap apartment, saving and investing heavily from his FIP salary so that he can retire very early in life and then become an archer, that's after retirement careerer, doing what he loves, perhaps for a third to a half of his life. As an archer, he's no longer a wage slave to some employer, and certainly no manslave to some bloody fluffy parasite. Cheers. Prof. Dr. Hugo de Garis. Email profhugodegaris@yahoo.com. Website profhugodegaris.wordpress.com. YouTube channel name De Garis Masculist MGTOW Flyers. Ciao.